What's good, motherfuckers? I usually start with beautiful people. Ain't nothing beautiful about what's going on here. I'm Ramon.
Snow.
Let's get into it. So this was supposed to be my roast video. I promised you I was taking names, was calling out numbers, sending links, splicing in video, the whole nine. But y'all lucky. This motherfucker next to me said don't do it. Had a good point. The shit's exhausting. Like right now I'm just like, I'm upset at Gamerz. I'm like disgusted with Gamerz right now. It got nothing to do, right now at this very point, it's nothing to do with Xbox, Microsoft. It's just like, yo man, y'all motherfuckers are just stupid. Like I'm that appalled that people are that fucking stupid. So again, I caught myself defending the Xbox reveal. Alright, maybe Microsoft wasn't clear on how they delivered that. People say, oh, they got no games, they ain't got no games. Microsoft got to redeem themselves, and I don't buy console for TV. Alright. In the interim, those 2 weeks before E3, a slew of shit happened. Microsoft says, yo, we spent $15 billion for games for you. Shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody shut the fuck up. Okay. Microsoft came out and said, yo, here's our DRM thing. Here's what we doing. We're transparent about how this is going to work. Oh, no used games, blah, 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 blah. It's over for Microsoft before it even began. Mind you, Sony never once said we're not doing that.
All they said was, we're going to do right. We're going to do the right thing. That's a quote.
Ain't nobody ever like, what does that mean? Okay.
Oh, no, people did. You and I did.
You see what I'm saying? The rest of the industry didn't. The people that were responsible for giving news and insight to shit in the industry didn't. Mm-hmm. Okay. E3 comes around, Microsoft fucking knocks that fucking conference out the park. You want to know what $15 billion value? A lot.
Bought Dead Rising 3.
$15 billion bought them a lot.
And bought Titanfall. I guarantee you some of that went to Titanfall.
The shit that's crazy is I don't think Microsoft set a limit on this. They just went to get what they had to get, and at the end of it, if the tally was $15 billion, here's what we spent.
Probably spent it on Twitch TV exclusive too.
For you. The fucking E3 conference was crazy. They had Metal Gear Solid
opening.
They had Titanfall. That was a big one. That was the originators of Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare boys.
Those are the boys I've been talking about for a while.
Right? You want to know why Infinity Ward don't feel like Infinity Ward no more? Now you know where they at. Right? They got you Killer Instinct. They got you Forza. They got you a whole bunch of shit in between.
And let's talk about how they got Insomniac to create a game on Xbox.
See, but I'm not going to mention shit like that because I don't want to cross that line of trolling.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
But it's not trolling, that's facts.
But I'm going to sum it up to they got you a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Nobody said nothing after that. I couldn't find a positive review of E3. Nobody had nothing to say. Like, yo, so were people not just watching what I was watching? They gave a demo. Right? It was a wild 3-hit combo. They were playing Killer Instinct. People was like, oh shit, Killer Instinct, B. No. Before you could even let that sink in, motherfuckers is chopping up the video. Upload. Whoa. Mm-hmm. That's kind of dope. Okay. Before you could let that sink in, they live streaming on Twitch. And it was a seamless experience. Seamless. Everything was instant. Everything was integrated. Everything was just, it wasn't a thought. No props for that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive too.
But let me tell you.
That's Upload Studio, by the way, what he meant by chopping up the footage.
Here's where I get disgusted, right? Sony has their press conference. Again, 2 hours. Microsoft did it in what? An hour?
Hour and a half. They had 90 minutes.
Sony had their press conference. I was not impressed the entire way through. First of all, they started out with, and I'm not getting into that here. I'm telling you why I wasn't impressed. They started out with PlayStation 3 games, which they have to because PlayStation 3 is still a big part of that equation. The one thing I wanted to see, Gran Turismo 6, was a PlayStation 3 game. Not interested right now. When they ended it, I still didn't see a game. I was like, okay. They showed every game that they sat down and put some effort and thought and gameplay into was available on the Xbox. Every single game. Okay, I ain't say nothing about it. I'll just keep coming out. Can I see some gameplay? Can I see some gameplay? Whatever. That whole conference, all I heard was blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Used games, $400. Crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, they go.
Industry goes wild.
And in comparison, man, when dude said $500, he had to double check around the room. Like,
did any of y'all hear me?
Right.
So $500 is a lot. Is this what we're gonna sum it up to? Because 400 is better. All right, I'm talking to the gamers. I'm talking to you cocksuckers that should know better but don't. Walk with me. Now it's a big thing. Sony stomped out Microsoft. These are the titles going around the internet. Sony punched Microsoft in the face.
I told you where
Microsoft didn't do enough. Game over.
I tell you where the media is going with gaming now.
Let me holler at you. I'm going to address the price. That whole conference was not as well put together as people would like you to believe. When Sony walked off that stage, I didn't know how big the hard drive was. I didn't know anything about their camera. I didn't know anything about pricing. It was just like everything was still like okay. And there was a rumor about SKUs before. So I felt like they made that, and listen, that's a very brilliant move. They made that big move for the pricing, like we gotta beat them. Sony learned from their mistakes. Coming from 700, you gotta beat them. And they beat them. I like that. But at what cost? You see what I'm saying?
They said for the Wii U, every game they sell counts for one. They make a profit after one game per console sold. So it'd be interesting to see what that number be with respect to the PlayStation 4 if they took a L.
If they took a L. Once more, I dig and 100% stand by Microsoft's decision to bundle that Kinect. Because if they didn't bundle the Kinect, they could have went for the same 400. But the point was, no, the Kinect is not an accessory anymore. The Kinect is a part of the fucking console, like your controller. That's how you communicate. That's how the experience works with this. Put it in there. I'll pay for it. So what does Sony do? Now we don't know. There's rumors that it might be bundled with the camera. It might not be bundled with the camera.
It's a lot of double dutch.
The camera is listed at $60. If it doesn't come with it, now the PlayStation 4 costs how much? $460.
Instead of $450. No, it would have been $450. Let me take an L on it.
Yeah.
Take $10 L on it.
Because you can't charge $460.
Yeah, because and I assume, listen, the what is it, what they call it, the Connect 2? Connect 2? Connect 2 is, I'm saying it's probably $125.
Around there.
$150. But because they can sell it to you automatically out the box, they can take that L on that.
Yeah. My thing is, fuck the price, right? You want a buck on $100, then you need to go fuck yourself. You're buying something that's going to be running for the next 10 years. You're investing in this thing for the next 10 years. There's a reason 15 years ago consoles were $250. Because in 2 years there's another one. Now, these things last these things last 8 years. They don't last they last so much longer now.
Yeah, no, way longer.
Right.
But the
okay, well maybe but we tenfold now.
Yeah.
We tenfold.
We can do
pay for that.
We can do 8 to 10.
You mean to tell me $100 is that much big of a deal? No, people are just trolling.
Can you please make the PC comment?
Got motherfuckers, I'm reading comments. I got people sending me messages.
I am a PlayStation head, by the way.
Yo, this shit don't make sense. Yo, that's mad I'm going to PC. Yo, fuck face.
Hold that. Fuck the PlayStation 4. I was waiting for the Xbox One. What the fuck is that? I'm going to PC. Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on. The fuck face comment.
How much do you think you're going to spend for a PC to game? Not even that. How much do you think you're going to spend for a graphics card to game? You're just that dumb of a fuck that you didn't know how much they cost, and you think you're going to avoid spending money? Let me tell you, this is a very expensive hobby. When people shell out billions of dollars to make one game, this is an expensive hobby. You're complaining about spending $500 when 4 will do for the next 10 years? You're a fucking idiot. I don't care what you tell me.
Your $500 in PC gaming ain't gonna get you past 3 years. From ultra to medium, you will go in a year and a half.
And then the year after that, barely making
your
good.
ultra might run on 30 frames per second. I'm not even gonna get into that.
Nah, because obviously that's over people's heads. The people that I'm talking to here. Let's talk the real meat and potatoes of this issue. This is the big one. Used games. Now I'm gonna tell you this, right? And this is where I really had to work to understand where people were coming from with this. Because I don't. I buy my games and I keep my games. The motherfucker that comes to me and say, yo, look at this brand new BMW. I can't wait to trade it in. I wonder how much I can get if I trade it in. You're a fuck. You didn't buy the car to trade it in. You don't buy the game to sell it used. You buy the game to play it. You get what I'm saying? And maybe this is because I got a different policy. I don't buy games that rated below an 8. Maybe this is why I'm exempt from this whole shit. You want to take a chance on a game that got a 4.0? Well, then you probably would be trading that in really quick. Whatever. So Microsoft puts these DRM policies in place using the Blu-ray technology. Thank who for that?
Sony.
Using the Blu-ray who also licensed that?
Sony.
Using the Blu-ray technology and tracking the games and whatnot, and they structured it in a way where you can only give a game to somebody once, and you can't buy used games. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna ask you on camera. I haven't asked you yet. I've asked plenty of people out there. Why exactly can't you buy used games?
You said you couldn't.
Exactly. Put in the comments right now why you can't buy used games. Let me know. And I asked this in Ignorant Gamers, right? Mm-hmm. Did I miss something?
Right.
Is there something that I missed?
Right.
As to why you can't buy used games?
Right.
Okay. Microsoft sets up this sharing infrastructure for the Xbox One. This is my man since high school. He lives about 20 minutes from me. I can share him a game on my library.
Titanfall.
That he can play whenever he wants, however he wants. 2 requirements. He has to be on my friends list.
Already done. I'm on his Xbox 360 friend list.
And he has to check in every hour.
I'm playing online Titanfall.
Is that a problem for you?
I have to get online to even have access to the game. No, it's not a problem.
Can you play the game without even getting online to get updates for the game? Oh, you can't. Can you play Battlefield without getting online? No, you can't. So what's the problem? So now, let's step away from sharing. This
Campaign, yeah.
Campaign, yeah.
Yeah, but that's besides the point, right?
This brings me to the always on connection part. And I specifically remembered one of the executives from Microsoft saying, what's the big deal? Everyone's always online anyway. I'm gonna holler at my man Ilias. Ilias said, over here in Greece, internet connections aren't the best. I rock with you. I feel you. Now, and this remains to be seen. And if you think Microsoft is this is the company that develops software for third-party countries and developing industries. If you think they didn't know that, then you don't know who you're talking to. You don't deserve to be watching this video. You don't deserve to be a gamer. That same technology is used to track it. There's no reason there shouldn't be exceptions to that list. This box of Halo 4 is going to be sent to the army. So when this disc is tracked, you don't need to check in. Your Xbox knows, oh, I don't need to check in. Am I talking French? Is that something that can't be done?
It can be. And we all know that the stuff always changes anyway once it's cross regions. There's always some little fine point things that changes once it's cross regions.
Isn't that interesting?
Because the TV stuff, like a lot of people said,
means nothing
to them outside of the States.
Means nothing to them outside the States.
And a lot of those companies are not going to jump on board. But watch they have something to fill that in.
Yeah. And whatever they have over there, they're hungry.
Right.
They want in.
Right.
Relax. Back to the sharing shit. The last one is the gift. I can give you the game. I'm done with this. I'm never playing. I don't play old games. I give it to Snow. I give him the game. He can't give it to anyone else. Just won't work. People are up in arms about this.
Games usually only go once. Because the point of the gift is not to give it to someone else. If I was to buy you a iPhone 6,
that shit's gonna be in my house till the iPhone 12 come out.
Right.
Because my man gave me that.
Right. He's not gonna get rid of it because it was a gift. Even though I know he hates it. I don't want to say that's a strong word, but I know that you prefer not to have it. But I thought of enough for him to have it, so he's gonna keep it. I have stuff that was given to me from a decade ago that I can't find myself to throw out.
So the people complaining got no fucking values. All right, but here's the kicker, right? Mm-hmm. All of what I just explained to you,
and you're missing stuff.
And I'm missing stuff. Let me bring something back that I really like, and I love Sony for this. They brought out their how to share games on a PlayStation video. That's what you were supposed to do. In fact, they didn't do that earlier because they're still on board with the whole DRM shit. They just chose to step around it now.
The wording with the DRM is exactly the same across the boards. Mind you, I'm the PlayStation head. Ultimately, it's up to the publisher.
We ain't going there yet.
Okay.
You know why Microsoft takes ownership of the DRM on the console and Sony does not? Because Microsoft does not require you to have a disc.
Because of the cloud. Because of the way it installs you can jump from one game to the next with the voice of Kinect.
If I bought a game on the cloud, how else are they supposed to monitor that? Do you think that these publishers would allow Microsoft to sell their games on the cloud if they know that they were letting him share it, him, and him? So let me ask you a question. How many times do you share your iTunes DRM music? How many times do you share your Netflix streams? How many times do you share your Hulu, your Spotify? These are cloud services. We're dealing with an era where the console exists on the cloud now.
You know what they do? They log in.
Oh, they log in.
With your credentials.
With my credentials? Oh, see, that's nice. But what's also nice is Microsoft lets you go wherever you go and log in. And they just check every 24 hours. Is this you? You're good. You know why this is a big deal? I live here. My girl lives over there. There's 2 Xboxes. I'm tired of walking with a hard drive and a game. Like, this is a thing. Like, we just came from going out, get something to eat. Mm-hmm. I have to go home. To get my hard drive. Because tomorrow's Sunday and I'm not leaving the house, 1. So I gotta have my tools with me. And 2, I am not playing anything offline. You can forget that. But sometimes, I grab my shit before I leave. Sometimes I forget the goddamn hard drive. Sometimes I forget the fucking game. That whole scenario solved. But it gets better. Shout out to JB. JB's got 2 beautiful kids in his house. Unfortunately for him, they game hard.
Oh, yeah.
That's 3 Xboxes.
One of them is a girl.
And all 3 of them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
So when he buys a copy of Battlefield, he buys 3 copies of Battlefield. Microsoft says, yo, here's this family plan. We gonna T-Mobile this bitch. That 1 copy of that game, all your family consoles have access to it. All at the same time. 1 copy. This is the power of the cloud. This is the reason why you can't, pardon me, brother, fucking talk PlayStation 4 to me. Because you ain't got none of that. And I'm always, I try not to be that dude that comes on here and says Sony sucks because of a feature I have that Sony doesn't. But I'm letting you know, PlayStation 4 didn't win. Does not. It did not. If you ain't got this, if you can't do that, then you didn't win. My man, you're different. You're different, but you didn't win. And on top of that, excuse that whole DRM shit, because some people just won't get that, right?
Right.
Some people just, it's alright for you not to just get it, but no, it works for me perfectly fine. And I'm not the only one who that scenario works for. You'll be a fucking fool to tell me that the E3 showing wasn't stronger for the Xbox. They did what they were supposed to do. Sony left this man with a lot of questions, left me with a lot of questions, and left a lot of gamers looking for gameplay for shit they didn't see. There's one game in particular I kept hearing about. It's supposed to be a big one. Can't remember. I don't know the Sony game, so but I know this was a big one because I've seen multiple people say, please, where is it? What's the beef? And I'm disgusted with people that they're talking like this right now. Yo, for that scenario about sharing games and family plan, I will gladly give you $100 more for that. You know what? How much would you pay for it on your PlayStation 4 since you ain't got it? I'm out, man. Fuck y'all.